Welcome to the INFOWARS Nightly News. I'm Darren McBreen. It is Thursday, December 4th, 2014. And here's a quick look at what's coming up.
Tonight, Attorney General Eric Holder promises to end racial profiling. Then, the FBI admits a probe into the death of Michael Hastings. And police celebrate the Eric Garner decision. That's next on the INFOWARS Nightly News.
Put your hand behind you.
In the wake of the recent grand jury's decisions not to indict police officers for the murders of Michael Brown in Ferguson and Eric Garner in New York, United States Attorney General Eric Holder has publicly announced that in the coming weeks, the Department of Justice, they plan on ending racial profiling once and for all. They must have a good trick up their sleeve. The DOJ will soon officially unveil the first update in over a decade to the federal rules concerning racial profiling. Holder said that he will announce updated Justice Department guidance regarding profiling by federal law enforcement, which will institute rigorous new standards and robust safeguards to help end racial profiling once and for all. Well, that sounds like a tall order. I can only speculate on how they plan on officially ending racial profiling. Good luck with all that. Eric Holder also mentioned that Barack Obama has assembled a group of law enforcement executives and community leaders. I bet that means Al Sharpton, who will meet to examine the present state of policing. And notice how they continue to make this a black versus white issue to racially divide the nation. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that 46-year-old and father of 6 Eric Garner, well, he was brutally murdered by the police for the ridiculous crime of selling cigarettes. I mean, the whole time the guy's sitting there yelling, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe." And it's my opinion that every one of those cops should have been indicted for manslaughter. And I think the tragic death of Eric Garner, if you ask me, he makes a far better example for police brutality than Ferguson's poster child, Michael Brown. But hey, that's just me. But what I can't understand is why people of all color aren't equally as outraged for for example, for the murder of Kelly Thomas, who was brutally killed by the police in Fullerton, California. His last words were yelling out loud for his dad to come save him while the police basically beat him to death. All charges against the police have been dropped. And then there's the gutless, cold-blooded killing of James Boyd in Albuquerque, which may have even been premeditated, as the Albuquerque police killed him for camping in an unauthorized area of the Sandia foothills. Once again, all officers acquitted on all charges. So police brutality is indeed out of control, but it's not just racial profiling. People of all color are victims of the rise of the police state in America. Now, I thought it was interesting in the case of Eric Garner, the cop who put him in a chokehold and killed him, well, he released an apology to Garner's family. This is Officer Daniel Pantaleo. He says, "It was never my intention to harm anyone, and I feel very bad about the death of Mr. Garner. My family and I include him and his family in our prayers, and I hope that they will accept my personal condolences for their loss." So there you go, a very heartfelt apology from a cold-blooded killer. Here's what Garner's widow had to say in response.
Mr. Pantaleo, and for you and also for a family member, has offered his condolences. Can the family find it in their heart to accept it? Do you accept it?
Hell no. The time for remorse would have been when my husband was yelling to breathe. That would have been the time for him to show some type of remorse or some type of care for another human being's life. When he was screaming 11 times that he can't breathe. So there's nothing that him or his prayers or anything else would make me feel any different. No, I don't accept his apology. No, I could care less about his condolences. No, I could care less. He's still working. He's still getting a paycheck. He's still feeding his kids. And my husband is 6 feet under. And I'm looking for a way to feed my kids now.
You know, I have to agree with her. I don't blame her for being totally outraged over the inexcusable murder of her husband. And I think we could all back her up on that. But what I don't get is she's not going to get the rest of the country to rally behind her as long as she has Al Sharpton standing next to her everywhere she goes. I mean, this guy's everywhere. He's like, where's Waldo? He's always there to photobomb. He's always there to steal the spotlight from every racial angle he could possibly muster up. Al Sharpton, the FBI informant, ambulance chasing agent provocateur, and master race baiter. Well, he's there once again. There he is on the scene. And I'm sure Jesse Jackson is probably there too. You know, the usual suspects. And by the way, I forgot to mention that Paul Joseph Watson, he found some comments on a police website, police1.com, where some police officers have responded to the grand jury's decision not to indict Officer Daniel Pantaleo by celebrating. That's right, these guys are actually excited by all this. And they say that they are now, they now have free reign to, quote, kick some thug ass. And there are many other comments equally disturbing posted on that site, and that is sure to add fuel to the fire. And I think the police departments in our country, for the most part, have changed their recruiting policies. They no longer want free thinkers. No, they want young officers who follow orders without question. And there's no question that the judicial system in our country is corrupt to the core. I mean, even if the use of deadly force is caught on camera for everyone to see, chances are that the courts will rule in favor of the police. I mean, we've seen it again and again. And the recent arms buildup and militarization of the police is no accident. And it's not about fighting terrorism. It's about controlling you and me, all of us. They want to control the masses. Well, especially now that people are finally starting to wake up. And no better way to control us than to divide and conquer. And this is mostly done through the false left versus right paradigm and through the racial division, as we are witnessing right now by design. The establishment can no longer afford the inconvenience of the Constitution to stand in their way, and they can't afford to have the masses rise up against the corporate state. And that's why you can no longer tell the difference between a military soldier and a police officer who's in full gear. Make no mistake about it, we are all enemies in the eyes of our corrupt government. And like my good friend Larry Pinckney would say, black, white, yellow, brown, and red people of all color, we are the enemy. And we are most dangerous to the establishment through our solidarity. All power to the people. And they don't want us united, they want us divided. And that's why, as we fight against each other in what could very well be the next civil war in our country, that's when the police state comes marching in through the rubble to establish order out of chaos. Hey, we're going to take a quick break right now. The INFOWARS Nightly News will return right after this, so stick around.
For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At INFOWARS Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. You don't have to be a doctor to know. The fall and winter months are the most dangerous time of year in North America when it comes to you and your family's health. InfoWarsLife.com is very excited to announce our biggest run yet of Silver Bullet colloidal silver, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. Now more than ever, it's important to stock up on high-quality Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com and to help others during Christmas by teaching them about the powerful benefits of silver. Secure your Silver Bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with super male or super female vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
Fitting that a free screen should sound the alarm against those who would destroy freedom. For in its power to deceive and inflame, or enlighten and inspire, the motion picture has no equal.
Believe me, the idea of doing things on my own is very tempting.
This notion that somehow I can just change the laws unilaterally is just not true. We are doing everything we can administratively. There are laws on the books that I have to enforce. There's been a great disservice done to the cause of getting the DREAM Act passed and getting comprehensive immigration passed by perpetrating the notion that somehow by myself I can go and do these things. It's just not true. We live in a democracy. You have to pass bills through the legislature, and then I can sign it. And if all the attention is focused away from the legislative process, then that is going to lead to a constant dead end.
These last few years, we've seen an unacceptable abuse of power, having a president whose priority is expanding his own power. Any guess on who said that, Mr. Speaker? It was Senator Barack Obama. Here's another one. No law can give Congress a backbone if it refuses to stand up as a co-equal branch. The Constitution made it. Senator Barack Obama. What do we do with a president who can basically change what Congress passed by attaching a letter saying, I don't agree with this part or that part? Senator Barack Obama.
What if the whole purpose of government was to negate freedom? What if freedom was a myth? What if the Constitution meant nothing to the government? What if everything the government has or owns or controls has been stolen?
So wherever and whenever I can go ahead and help families like yours, I've got the legal authority to do it, I'm going to do it.
On the subject of immigration later today, we'll have a press conference with some members who are urging the president to act, to use his executive authority to improve the situation. As the president not only has the legal authority to act, but all the precedents of presidents before, from Eisenhower, Kennedy, Nixon. You know who most of them before you were born, some of you, but Nixon, Ford, Carter.
There are actions I have the legal authority to take as president, the same kinds of actions taken by Democratic and Republican presidents before me, that will help make our immigration system more fair and more just. Tonight, I'm announcing those actions.
His decision to take unilateral action on immigration, action he himself said exceeded his authority, makes it harder for the American people and their elected representatives to trust his word on any issue.
What you're not paying attention to is the fact that I just took an action to change the law. Now,
but this is an issue not really focusing on immigration, but instead is an issue about how the president is violating the Constitution by imposing his own powers that really reside with Congress.
So we certainly are hopeful that Congress is going to view this as a motivation, you might say, to try to take action finally on common sense, comprehensive immigration reform that'd be good for border security, that'd be good for national security.
What I'd like to see the president do is finally acknowledge all of the people that have been killed by illegal aliens. This is not a story about my son. This is a story about over 100,000 people that have been killed since the last amnesty and are getting killed at the rate of 5,000 a year. Most of them, about 60%, are being killed by people that are in the country illegally but have not committed any what the administration calls serious crimes.
These borders being wide open, it's not just the people from Mexico and South